women feel words?
Women feel words is because the certain words that's being said by the other person is usually triggers an experience, or they remember it through an experience. And that's why women feel it, words, because those words show them an image in their head of an experience that they went through, an experience that they never actually sat down and completely understood why that experience happened to them. Usually why women feel those words is because it's always neglected situations where they never truly understood what it meant. That's why then when women want to explain themselves, they can't, because they truly never understood it themselves. And that's why it comes out in anger or rage when they want to explain it to other people, because they themselves don't know. And sometimes, the words can also create happy experiences, and they can openly, happily tell it. But sometimes those words can create, it's not a specific word in general, just about the same concept. It can be any word that's related to that experience can trigger them. So you can't really pinpoint an exact word. Women are more emotional as well, like it's more emotionally aware of things. Hence why words do affect them a lot more, because they generally bring up experiences which affect their emotions.
Can anyone think of an example from the Bible or an experience or a story which kind of impacted society to what it is now? Something that would have happened as an example in the Bible that would have impacted society in terms of females feeling words. Can anyone think of a story in the Bible? What about, let's start from the very beginning. Let's talk about Eve. The incident that happened in Genesis 3, when sin happened, where there was a situation where they disobeyed. Adam went about blaming the woman. Do you see any impact that caused in the generation in terms of guys blaming females for where they are? Because it was an incident that started off once, but it has a mass effect on the generation, just like guilt. And that's why you see females are naturally more defensive, because it's a DNA problem. Within the DNA, they've been inclined to defend themselves because no one else can defend them, so they have to defend themselves. Why? Because it was originally a mistake that was made by Adam at the very start, where he pointed the finger, and so condemnation on females is really high. I was actually doing a research and looking at terms of anxiety and condemnation and all this on it's higher on females more than on males. Females tend to go into a zone where they overthink everything and they run it through their mind multiple times into multiple arrays, whereas guys usually are, if it's not me, it's not me. They're easy and quick to push things out. There's a whole research that's been done on it. There's a sense of condemnation that has carried across. As a matter of fact, Jesus knew about this condemnation that was sitting on females. So Jesus did something very interesting. Here's a question to ask you guys. So the woman was the first one to be blamed for her mistakes and how she lacked in things. And so when Jesus came on earth, all his disciples were males, but he did something very interesting, that when he resurrected from death, the first person Jesus empowered to go and lead and do mission was not a male, it was a female. And that whole entire scenario, I can go into it for a very long time, but I just want to point out it's something you gotta study in your own time. The encounter when Jesus first comes out of the tomb and he speaks to a female, find out which female it is, because it's very interesting. And the scenario that happens there is Jesus restoring the mind of the ladies. It's restoring the mindset that the females have about people always blaming them for where they are. There's more mothers that blame themselves for not being good mothers than fathers actually blame themselves for not being good fathers. There's more fathers that have less care factor on their children than mothers do. And there's a sense of condemnation that has carried across. And so an action, and we can see it even in terms of how society is carried. If a female goes out and have sex, the shaming is high. A guy doesn't do it, he's usually crowned as a hero. That's the man, yeah. And so where did that come from? Why is there such a big sense of shame and condemnation just implanted on the female kind?